Hi guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about distress tolerance and how I handle that with one particular case, because I think we can get stuck sometimes with horses that get to a certain point and it feels like they're not getting anywhere, and what do you do about that, and how do you get through that safely? And do you have to do it in a strictly positive reinforcement way, or are there other ways to do it? I mean, positive reinforcement is going to be my first avenue of choice, but in this particular case, I didn't do it strictly with positive reinforcement. I was working with a client and her horse who had moved from a different barn, and they moved last fall. And after the move, she had some trouble getting her horse to go to the barn. So why does that matter? Why is it even important for the horse to get to the barn? Well, for healthcare, for hoof care, and for the vet, and be pretty cool if she could get in and groom her horse and tack up and ride in the arena. And also trying to balance the expansion of this horse's world and things that she could enjoy but and benefit from, but that are maybe uncomfortable for her, with her owner's desire to do more with her horse, but in a way that obviously doesn't distress the horse or cause her any harm, or to be really upset, or doesn't squash the horse. So what we ended up doing was spending a lot of time just grazing. There was still a little bit of grass back last fall, and we just spent time grazing. Every time we would try to move the horse in a direction she didn't want to go, she would shake her head and pin her ears and bite and strike and threaten to kick and all of those things. So I just decided not to train any of that. I just said, let's just spend time doing what she wants to do and let her take us where she wants to go. So we actually spent pretty much the whole winter doing that, and I'll be honest, it felt a little demoralizing. It felt a little bit pointless, but I wasn't seeing a way forward that we could cooperate in. So I just wanted to see what would happen if we let that horse have her way. And so that's what we did. And I think she needed to learn that she was respected, not that she needed to respect us, but that she was respected, and that she needed to learn that we would respect her wishes. I also had to show her that she would get what she wanted every time. Like, I wanted her to have what she wanted. I wanted her to have the grass and to be comfortable and be happy in her new surroundings. So I wanted to see that she would get what she wanted every time, so that she would trust that she would get that and we would give that to her. It ended up that the horse changed pasture. She changed from one turnout to another with a couple of different horses. That had a huge change. It made a significant difference in her attitude and kind of the expansion of her world. That turnout was actually closer to the barn, so it worked out better for all of us. So what I ended up doing was challenging her tolerance for going towards the barn or going anywhere she didn't necessarily want to go, by asking her just to go a little bit further than she kind of wanted to go, and then letting her eat, letting her do whatever she wanted to do. I would do my very best to keep her from just catapulting right past her threshold, but still try to ride that really fine line between comfort and discomfort, because we're trying to push this envelope, we're trying to push these boundaries a little bit, and try to get the horse to realize that she can be comfortable in a slightly different situation. Could I have done it more quickly, or with more tools or pressure, or even force, if you want to go there? Yeah, I could have punished her every time that she decided she wanted to try to bite me, or kick, or shake her head, or make naughty faces, or anything like that. I could have punished her, but that's not good in the long term. That's not going to get us where we want to go in the long term. That's just going to squash her and squash her way of expressing her displeasure. And that might create a horse that looks like they're happy to go along and do what you want to do, but not in my experience, that they, at some point, their displeasure becomes much more powerful than your squashing of the behavior. And somebody was going to get hurt doing that. So I don't retaliate. My cat is scratching on her scratching post, which is my saddle rack. So I don't retaliate. I just pause, and I try to be preemptive when she looks like she might try to bite me. I just hold my hand up and I just wait for her to settle for a moment. I try to block her from biting me, and I just wait a little bit. And then maybe I take a step forward, or I don't. I just let her eat. I'm not rewarding her for that behavior, but I'm recognizing that she has hit her threshold and that she needs to take a moment. And that's fine. I will use pressure on the halter to try to keep her from biting, or try to keep her from spooking into me, or what in the hell is that cat doing? She has to pick now to play with a paper bag on the floor. Awesome. Anyway, I will use pressure on the halter to try to direct her in a way that is going to be safe for both of us. And I'll try to block her if she tries to bite me. And that's about the amount of pressure that I'll use. I won't try to make her work in a place where she has expressed these behaviors and then let her relax when she's stopped expressing those behaviors. I just try to keep us safe as much as I can. And then we'll try to walk on just a little bit more. And then she gets to eat for a little bit. Sometimes I'll use pressure to get her to lift her head off the grass, but her owner's done a really good job of teaching her a head up cue, and she's remarkably reliable with it. So most of the time we don't have to use that. We have a really great head up cue. We also do a lot of targeting to kind of give her something to do and to establish a rhythm as much as we can. And just to have some kind of familiarity, something that everyone knows how to do, and it's a low stress behavior, and you can establish a rhythm with it. And I think that has a lot of value, and I think it goes a long way toward making everybody feel a little bit more comfortable in that situation. I also want to say that I couldn't push on this horse. I couldn't ask for as much forward movement towards the barn as I can now in the beginning, because she didn't have that resilience. She was way too close to her threshold to begin with. I think the move was really big for her. And just being now, of course, she's got to play with her little jingle ball. Thanks, kitty. So yeah, just being way too close to threshold meant that there was very little room for me to do anything. There wasn't much that I could do with her except to take her out and let her eat. That's the only thing that was safe to do. But I'm really, really happy to say that the last session we were able to go, and for several sessions before that, we were able to go in the barn. We could stand in the aisle. We got some good foot handling work done in the arena, and there was another horse in the arena, and there was a lot going on. A lot of people there that day, and I'm super, super happy to say the horse did really, really well. And her owner actually did most of, if not all, I think she did all the handling, and she did a really great job. And one of the things that personally makes me happy to say is that she said that all of the work that we had done up until that point was all worth it, because we had gotten, to be honest, we'd gotten what we wanted, and the horse seemed to be just fine with that. She didn't have all the usual stress with the ear pinning and body tension and things like that. She was actually really quite able to relax in the arena, and that, I think, was fun for her too. I think she appeared to enjoy it as much as I can see from her outward behavior. So if you're going through a hard time with your horse and you're finding that you're just not getting anywhere, try not training. That's it's an option. I'm not saying it's the option every time. Is it the right thing to do every time? I don't really know. It worked this time, and it's definitely something to keep in your back pocket if you are running into trouble and you just need to think about it and need to observe and watch the horse and see what the horse is telling you about what they can handle. So that's my spiel on distress tolerance for the moment and how I handled it. And yeah, thanks for listening.